Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
Thank you for joining us for another class here at Stream of Wisdom, Rochester. All right, we are back in the building. Let's get the link out. Sorry for us being a little tardy, but we are here. All right, we are here. Brothers and sisters, quick announcements before we get into this class. Quick announcements, as you know, we have multiple school locations. All right, Houston, Virginia, San Antonio. So if you're in those areas, go ahead and reach out, link up, right? We are in the last days. So, make it out. Allow the Father to twinkle your spirit. This is what we need. We need the unity. We need the brotherhood. We need the sisterhood, right? We need each other. We need correction. We need reproof. So these are the things that come as you come around. All right. Quick announcements. Purim is coming up March 12th through the 14th. All right, March 12th through the 14th. So go ahead and mark that in your calendars. Try to get around whatever school you're located to. Again, the Father sees these actions and deems them as righteous deeds, right? 2nd Ezra 8:33, the scripture says, the righteous has many good deeds stored up. So get your deeds stored up. So when Christ returns, you have something to speak for you. All right. There's no excuses when Christ come back, but I could have, I wanted to, but man, the but-us ain't gonna work.
No.
Right? The but-us ain't gonna work with Christ. So go ahead and make the preparation early, because this is March. We're in the beginning of February. This is middle of March. So, if you're close to a school, or at least just try to, reach out. So March 1st or March 12th for Purim. Also Passover, which is going to be April 12th here in Rochester. Man, I advise you to get your tickets, get your Airbnbs. If you need any help with any accommodation, at least looking for them, hit me up. All right. My number is on the screen. You can hit me up and we'll take care of you. We're not shy to help our people out on the Lord's Day. All right. What else do we have? There's many ways that you can watch us that we have. All right. We have the Blog Talk Radio with Priest Mashaba, Banabad, Tazapa. But it's on Podbean. The new podcast is Podbean. All right. You can find that, which is going to be noontime. Well, it depends. A lot of times it may be nighttime, but check it out. They're going to be recorded in the archives. So check that out. All right. With that, listen, we're going to go into class. Y'all know the gist of it. For those that are online, we're going to get to it. All right. Shalom, Brother Eric said present. Right. So y'all see the title, Academic Fraud. Academic Fraud, Hidden Legacy of King James VI and the First, right? The Sixth of Scotland and Ireland, the First of England, man. Uniting the kingdoms together. King James, this class is needed, right? Especially for Israelites, for brothers and sisters. When we say that the Bible was written by and for black men and black women, we want to even understand the person that had the hand in what? Translating. Right? Was it a white man that translated the Bible? Well, that's what we're going to find out. Right? And, the point of the academic fraud is because there's been a lot of lies. In the scholastic realm, when it comes now to the information about King James, in the land of these different countries, and we're going to go into it. This is going to be a multi-series class that we're going to a lot of collegiate style or colleges, collegiate level studyings. They don't go into it. So we are definitely, that's us. Oh, that's nice. Right. We are definitely going to go into this. So go ahead and get your pen and pad, get your paper, right? And let us really show forth what the scriptures say. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely do. It was all the way until March 1st. Right. All right. So Let's get everybody in the chat. Hopefully, put a 7 in the chat if things are clear. Every time you want to drop something heavy, a nice class, Satan wants to do what? Show his... No, you want to show out, man. So put a 7 if things are clear, if you can hear me, if everything is sounding good. There we go. You got a 7 in the chat. So let's start off with Genesis 35:10. Right? King James, the king of England, Scotland, and Ireland. All right? King James, the king of England, Scotland, and Ireland. So we're gonna go through a lot of books today. You're gonna see a lot of images, and we're just gonna really just vibe, man. The introduction to the class, and really understand and get some better understanding to connect us more with the Word of God, right? With our ancestors, because all they taught us in school was what? We were sons of slaves. Yeah. Right? Not knowing that there was so much more nobility, even in the land, when some of our brothers and sisters came over on ships. Right? Everybody didn't come off of ships now. And that's what we got to understand. Right? You had a lot of brothers and sisters coming, not only from Africa, but coming from where? Spain. Coming from England. Right? You got these different accounts of brothers coming from ships in England. And I'm talking about having noble jobs. Higher class. Right? We weren't, as they called us now, tree monkeys. Right? Savages. So as we go through, there's going to be a lot of things brought to light in this class, but it should help brothers and sisters to be able to also edify and to teach others, right? Brothers and sisters coming into this faith, knowing that, man, your bloodline runs deep, right? Your bloodline runs back to the kings, the queens of the world. Y'all see this? So let's read Genesis chapter 35 and verse 10. Let's read this.
Genesis chapter 35, verse 10.
Come on.
And God said unto him,
go ahead.
Thy name is Jacob.
Go. So this is now Jacob, right? Dealing with now the angel, right? Wrestling with this angel. And what did the angel say? Read it one more time.
And God said unto him,
go ahead.
Thy name is Jacob.
Read.
Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob.
Right. Your name is no longer going to be called Yahweh. Right. Jacob, the supplanter. Right. What is his name going to change to be? Read.
But Israel.
But what?
Israel.
And Israel means what? Prince of power. Yasharallah. Prince of power. All right. Keep reading.
Shall be thy name.
That's going to be now that name change. And that's the beauty, right, of being in this truth and coming to understand about growth, spiritual growth, right? And the Father just promoted Jacob in this instance because of his steadfastness, right? And said, man, you know what? You are a prince of power, nobility. You don't give up. You keep fighting. You maintained your integrity when dealing with your brother, right? You maintained your integrity when dealing with sleazeball Laban. You stayed in the spirit. Go ahead.
And he called his name Israel.
And he called his name Israel, Prince of Power. Go ahead.
And God said unto him,
come on.
I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply.
Right. So he's telling Jacob, be fruitful and multiply. I'm giving you the ability. I'm blessing your seed. I'm blessing now the men that come from your loins. Go ahead.
A nation.
A what?
A nation.
A nation. I want y'all to hear this loud and clear. This is prophecy of what Jacob's family would be. The 12 tribes of Israel would be. Go ahead.
And a company of nations.
So you're going to be a nation and a company of nations. Go ahead.
Shall be thee. And kings shall come out of the loins.
And what?
And king shall come out of thy loins.
So in Genesis 35, it was already telling us now future prophecy of what Jacob's family would look like. Y'all see that? How they will now have dominion. He said, kings shall come out of thy loins. And this wasn't only talking about in the United Nation under Solomon.
God.
This wasn't talking about under the United Nation with King David only. Because Israel was everywhere. Israel was scattered across the world. And we'll go more in detail to how to even show that in a later class. Because today, I want to deal with King James. Right? I want to deal with King James to show forth that first and foremost, he's not as the world portrays him. Right? Or when it now comes to our mind, oh, King James, he wrote the Bible. That's a white man's book. Well, you do err not knowing anything.
Right.
You don't know archaeology.
Yep.
You don't have no true understanding of history, right? You don't even have any understanding of etymology, wordplay, right? So to make that statement, man, you know, a lot of our people are unlearned.
Yeah, loose.
Right.
Yeah, it's a loose tongue.
Easy to now reiterate made up jargon.
Babies.
There you go. Everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so this right here, we're seeing the Father already prophesied that Jacob would have kings coming out of his loins, man. Y'all see this? Kings coming out of his loins. So, you know, the reason why I started here is because the Father is already showing us what was going to befall in the last days. What was going to befall Jacob's family. Go to Isaiah 43:9. Just on this point about prophecy. This is the beauty of it. This is the beauty that, brothers and sisters, we're able now to go back to the Bible and find out who we are. Because the Bible is a historical book. Right? The Bible said it was going to help us in re-knowing, refinding ourselves, regaining our heritage. Very important. Very important. Because you're more than a welfare child, man. Single parent home child, abused child, right? So-called, again, bottom barrel of the world.
Right.
No. There's been a lot of deceit and deception, and that's what we're going to get into on this first portion of the class, dealing with what? Academic fraud. Right? Dealing with the academic fraud of King James, which is our brother. Right? That many scholars will validate. And we're going to go to them today too. All right, so Isaiah 43 and verse 9. Come on.
Isaiah chapter 43, verse 9.
Right, Isaiah 43. And any questions before we get into it, for those that are coming online, we're going into understanding, right, who King James is. Really digging into that hidden legacy. And I'm talking about it runs deep, y'all. It's going to make you sick. It's going to make you sick because you're going to be like, damn, we've really been in the Truman Show.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like the so-called white men, right? Those that are in power have done a hell of a job in deceiving the world. They've done an outstanding job, man. I see why the Most High said that Esau was going to be a cunning hunter,
man,
a mass manipulator,
assassin,
a sadistic assassin of character.
God.
Right? Like, he is bad. And the Father is showing us, and that's the beauty. Right? The wool is now being pulled from our eyes. What was that?
Real history.
You got the real voice.
Yeah.
Right? But let's read this. Come on.
Isaiah chapter 43, verse 9.
Isaiah 43 and 9. Go ahead.
Let all the nations be gathered together.
Come on.
And let the people be assembled.
Right. So let all the nations come together. That's talking about the Chinese, the Japanese, the East Indian, the African. Go ahead.
Who among them can declare this?
Right. Who can declare what? Read.
And show us former things.
Right.
Let them bring forth their witnesses.
That's the point. The Most High is now checking the spirit of the nations and saying, who can now reclaim or show forth prophecy? Past prophecy that has been fulfilled. Why am I going to this scripture, y'all? It's because the world doesn't have prophecy. Right? The Nation of Islam does not have prophecy. They're not out there on the street talking about Quran verse 36. Surah 52 says this in the last days.
No.
They don't have none of that. But what are we able to do? we're able now to go back and recount what the Father said was going to happen. Read it again. I want y'all to hear this.
Verse 9.
This is a big flex. This is why the as they call it, the Israelite movement. It's bigger than a movement, man. This is an awakening, a spiritual awakening of God's chosen children, right?
God.
The kings and the queens of the earth. Go ahead.
Verse 9.
Come on.
Let all the nations be gathered together.
Read.
And let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this?
I want to know. I want to know what the Mormons got. You know what I mean? I want to know what the Masons got. What they bringing out,
Nothing.
Foolishness. Right? What are these different religious groups bringing out? Huh?
Devil worship.
Right, there you go. Nothing.
Con.
Go ahead.
And show us former things.
There you go. Show us the former things. Huh? What African proverb you got that'll show us former things? Everybody want to be an African. Right? What they got?
Stone.
Stone.
A stone that's just gonna crack when you hit it with a hammer.
There you go. You talking about the cobblestone?
That too, but just the crystal stones that they be trying to wear. Like
right.
Mental stability.
There you go. Right. Go ahead.
And show us former things.
Come on.
Let them bring forth their witnesses.
Yeah, let them bring forth their witnesses. Let's see. Right? Speak upon some things that was said from your spiritual books. Come on, man. Y'all got to hear what's going on right now. Most High saying, man, bring them out.
God.
What up, though? Huh? Y'all got something from the past to say? Somebody told y'all a future event that was going to happen? Well, let's see if it happened. Bring it out. What happened? The Bible is full of prophecy, man, that has been fulfilled. And we have future prophecy that will be fulfilled. Go ahead.
That they may be justified.
Come on.
Or let them hear.
Read.
And say, is it true?
Come on. Verse 10.
Verse 10. Ye are my witnesses, said the Lord.
Read. We are the witnesses of what? Seeing and knowing that kings were going to come from the loins of Jacob. We're going to witness in this class that Jacob had kings come out of his loins. Traveling farther than the nation of Israel. And what I mean by that is that Israel itself.
God.
Right? Dealing with whenever now Rome, so-called Rome was in rule. Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Read.
Ye are my witnesses, said the Lord, and my servant whom I have chosen.
Read.
That ye may know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me, there was no God formed.
There is no other power. No other God formed. Read.
Neither shall there be after me.
Right. Y'all see that?
God.
Neither shall there be after him. Go to Isaiah 46 and verse 9. Right? Speaking of who? Christ. Isaiah 46 and verse 9. What does the Bible say? Why am I going over this? I'm just showing forth that the Bible has given us the understanding, right, to erase now the foolery that the so-called white man wanted to put on us. In our high schools, in our elementaries, in our junior highs with all this false information. Let's keep reading. Come on.
Isaiah chapter 46, verse 9.
Read.
Remember the former things of old.
The Father said, remember the former things. You know what Esau wants you to do, so-called white man? The world, they want you to forget. Right? It don't matter. That's what they say. It don't matter the color of Christ.
Right.
Well, if it don't matter, why was it in the scriptures? Huh? Let us paint Donald Trump as a black man. They're going to snap. They're going to pull up on you. Right?
They're going to lose it.
Yeah. You paint so-called Queen Elizabeth. Right? You paint her as a black woman.
Blasphemy.
They losing it.
All right.
Your whole YouTube channel going to be shut down.
Oh, yeah. They canceling all your funds.
Right.
They did that at Dwight Howard.
What happened with him?
Dwight Howard spoke on basically the Israelis, and he basically was shouting out the Pakistanis basically, or the Gaza Strip people. As soon as he said that, that's when he got kicked out the NBA, and ever since then he's been surfacing around.
Oh, so he's not in the NBA no longer? Dwight Howard?
No.
So that's why he on shrooms. He's
That's
partying up. His rib and telling on him, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's basically surfacing around the world right now because he's making money in China. He's making money in Philippines. And all these places.
Playing basketball?
Mm-hmm. And he owns some part owner of a team.
Mm.
But basically, they showing him out of the NBA after he spoke against Israel.
Look at that.
And he really didn't say nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
You know, he just said that something about the Gaza people. I gotta look up the clip again.
Speaking against the beast.
Mm-hmm.
You're speaking against the machine. It ain't allowed.
No, they're gonna take you down.
Right. We got that disclaimer page too.
Oh.
You got that disclaimer?
Oh, yeah.
Just put that up there, man. Just, they try to hate, man.
Mm.
Right? They don't want to see this. Oh, we got the images.
Mm.
We got the books.
Mm.
Right? To show forth truth.
Man.
The Father says, remember the former days. Remember the former things of old, boy. Remember who we used to be. Know how the Father blessed the loins of Jacob through his children. How we bless the world, man. We bless the world with our presence. And we know a lot of our dealings was going left. But the Father's going to bring us back to greatness. Keep reading. Come on.
Remember the former things of old.
Yep, all the way to 10.
For I am God, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me.
Read.
Declaring the end from the beginning.
There it is. Declaring the what?
Declaring the end from the beginning.
There it is. There it is. Declaring the what? The end from the beginning. Go ahead.
And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done.
There you go. Y'all see that? So not only did now the Father declare the end from the beginning and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet to come. Come on, man. Who has the ability to know these things? Israelites.
God.
Brothers and sisters that's locked into this book, that has the Spirit of the Lord on them. This is why a lot of our parents, your friends, they don't care about topics like this. They don't care about what the Father said was going to happen. And it's the point of what? Kings coming out of the loins. But the so-called white man wants to do what? Put himself in that position. Right? He want to make himself as if he's great. Let's keep reading. Come on.
Saying, my counsel still stand.
Go ahead.
And I will do all my pleasure.
Right. You see that? It says, my counsel what?
My counsel still stand.
Go ahead.
And I will do all my pleasure.
Right. The Father said he would do all his pleasure. And what was one of those things that was going to befall Israel?
Man.
Right. What was going to befall in the world to where we forgot who we were? Right.
Yeah.
We now became brainwashed and thinking we're Afrocentric. Right. I'm from the Uganda tribe. As I get peed on a cow.
Right. Let poop touch you.
Right. I'm gonna cut up my face. Thinking that it's a nice ritual of wealth. Right. What happened to where Israel, the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American, forgot who we were? Because remember, everybody says it. We were kings and queens. When? Who? They say it. Man, we was the gods of the earth. Well, damn, what happened? Where did we fall from? Revelations 12 and 15. Revelations 12 and 15. Right? Revelations chapter 12 and verse 15. To give an understanding of what happened. Right? And how we're now tied up in something that we call academic fraud. Because there's a lot of academic fraud, fraudulent behavior, right? That's in the world. So let's read this.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 15.
Revelations chapters 12, verse 15. We're going to get there. I just want to drop these first scriptures. Right?
It's setting the stage. It's setting the stage perfectly because as you was talking, I was thinking about the verse you went in Isaiah.
Right.
They were like, yet ye are my witnesses, but it's like like you're saying, there's so much trail of evidence that we just left in all these different places.
Yeah.
That we done been. So it's like the Most High is like the scripture Uriah just read. Like he's doing his pleasure. He's leaving all these trails so that you can trace your steps back. Like where did I go? Where have I been?
Right.
Who am I?
There you go. Yeah, the Father is allowing us to wake up. Right? That great awakening. That was prophesied to happen. They will run to and fro. Right? That information, that knowledge that it said in Daniel's was going to increase. And that's what we see today. And this is that great awakening before what? Before the terrible day of the Lord. You know? Because this is on a high level of Black, Latino, and Native Americans really understanding who we are.
Yeah.
Knowing that it didn't start with chains. Right? No, it was with rubies. Right? The crown jewels of Europe. That was us. You know? So let's read this real quick. Revelations 12 and verse 15.
Revelation chapter 12 verse 15.
Go ahead.
And the serpent
is the so-called white man. Esau's nation. Go ahead.
Cast out of his mouth.
He did what?
Cast out his mouth.
Read.
Waters as a flood.
Right. So the scripture breaking down this Revelations 12 and 15 is speaking of the so-called white man. But when it says that he cast out of his mouth water as a flood, that water as a flood represents lies. It represents falsehood that now the so-called white man is going to spit and spew against Israel. Read it again.
And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
There you go. That he may cause Israel, the woman is representing Israel, to be carried away with what? All the lies, right? All now the false identifications that we identify ourselves with. I'm a Democrat. I'm a Republican, right? I'm a Buddhist monk, right? What the school system now teaches you. The school system now wants to remove that Black, Latinos, and Native Americans were slaves. Because you had Native Americans also on the chopping block as slaves. We can prove that. We can prove that they were there being sold too. But the point is that this is prophecy in Revelations of what was going to befall us, the nation of Israel. That the so-called white man, the serpent, right? Serpent showing forth what? Excuse me, his cunning, deceptive, lying-filled strategies, right? To do what? Cover up who the greatest people of the whole world is. So it says, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman. Saying what? King James is white. I mean, let's think about it now. Most of our people think what? They think that Jesus is white. When there's no account of that in the scriptures. But our people will die for that. They will kill you. They'll kick you out the house. They'll say, you're no longer my son. You're no longer my daughter. I don't know who you are. I didn't raise you like that. And it's like, Dad, you're not reading the scriptures? Mom, the scriptures.
Yeah.
Right? But why? Well, it's because this deceptive nature of Esau has done what? It's brainwashed our people. Right? It's erased, again, our history through pain. Right? So the scripture says that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. Keep reading, verse 16.
And the earth helped the woman.
And the what?
The earth helped the woman.
But even though the so-called white man is fighting and striving to hide history, to whitewash images, right? To deceive in the school systems, to rewrite history books. Even though he took all of that, like that image right there, that's supposedly King James. Esau don't even dress like that now.
God.
Jews and dignitary styles they don't even dress like that now, man. Barely take baths. Barely take baths, and you want me to believe they're noble. That's why God said, what in verse 17? Or verse 16?
And the earth helped the woman.
The earth helping the woman is speaking about now how the Father is going to bring up what? History, archaeology, all these different findings that now the so-called black man is starting to understand, right? Anthropology, archaeology, that shows the true image and the true reality of who we are. The earth will help the woman. You know one way that the earth is helping a woman, or helping the woman, which is Israel? How? Huh? Through books, huh? How do you hide something from a black man?
Put it in the book.
Ain't that what they said? That was a joke, but that was serious though.
Come.
That was a true statement.
Yeah.
How do you hide things from a black man? You put it in a book.
Yeah.
Because he's too distracted to do what? To go and seek.
Yeah.
To go and learn and to figure out and to be interested about world history.
Yeah.
Be interested about, I want to know what the scholars thought in the 1700s, 1600s. Let's see what they said. Let's really see what was going on. Israel don't care about that. Israel cares about what? Blunts, natty daddies, and twerking on Twitter. Right? Everybody want to be a YouTube star.
Right.
Nobody cares about the truth. Right? And the father said, well, you know what? I'm going to shake it up a little bit. I'm going to have Putin drop the images of the biblical figures.
God. Black Christ.
Black Christ. Black Paul.
God.
Right? I'm going to have Elon Musk show now black images. This is how the earth, and mind you, those images came from where? The Russian icons.
God.
They got this stuff locked away. You don't see these in America. You see them in what? Russia, Europe, all on the walls. The so-called, the Pope kissing Black Jesus, kissing Black Madonna.
Yeah.
The Bible is prophesying and saying that the earth helped the woman. Oh, and she helping us today.
God.
Right?
God.
She's helping us today through scholarship of what a lot of dignified historians, geneticists, geologists, all these different men telling us who the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American are. All those bywords. Damn color of the crayon box. A so-called language, right? Hispanics, mixed people. The hell? The Most High said that now the woman was going to help. Keep reading.
And the earth opened her mouth.
There you go. And the earth did what?
Opened her mouth.
And the earth opened her mouth. What's that? That's the facts, the artifacts that we have, right? Coming even here in America where you have Hebrew artifacts, archaeology digs. That's so that there was the 10 Commandments in New Mexico, Los Lunas stones, ancient Hebrew.
God.
You got Hebrew in Native American dwellings, the Cherokee, right? That was in Batville. I forget where that was at.
Los Lunas?
No, not the Los Lunas. It was another. It was a few things. It was like a coffin that had the
Moses.
10 Commandments. Yeah, the 10 Commandments on it, but it also was another one. The Back Creek Stone.
That's in Tennessee.
And mind you, there's so much more. We're not even talking about Puerto Rico either. That has over 800 artifacts of Hebrew writings.
God.
In Puerto Rico, like Puerto Riches.
God.
Where they think they white. Right? I was talking to High Priest Shai, and I said, me no black. No, you black, nigga. You black. You Israelite at that too.
Yeah.
Right? Me no black. Yeah, I bet you me no black now.
Right.
Getting deported.
Yeah, you get
Right? You getting deported back. Crying for help now. But the point is that we see that history will help us. That's why it's very important to work on your mind, your spirit, and to search wisdom and knowledge. Y'all see that? Wisdom and knowledge. Look at this right here. The feats and ancients of the ancients. We don't have this on the class today, but this goes into Hebrew found in Tennessee. Come on, huh? Like, but our people's too busy with what? BBLs.
God.
Right? We too busy with Drake and Kendrick. What they got going on.
God.
That's cool. It's good. It's good to know things, but that ain't important. Knowing who we are is important, right? Teaching our children that you come from a rural background, right? And that we can prove that not only the men of the Bible look like us, But also the men of that time, the nobility of that time looked like us as well. Y'all see that? Any questions so far? Any questions? I know y'all want to get into it. We're going to get into it. We're going to drop the books. We're going to give it all to you, right? You know, but we have to understand that the Bible already prophesied what was going to befall in the last days. And that was us returning and knowing who we are. Knowing that we were the kings in England. We were the kings in Spain, right? We were the kings in Ireland and Scotland and all these different lands. It was us. That's our swag. That was our swag. Keep reading. Come on.
And swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
There you go. Swallowed up the what?
Swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
Right. What does that mean? You're swallowing up the flood. You're now tearing down and eradicating all the lies, all the academic fraud that was put on our people, man. This is a heavy demon. It's like a damn Haitian voodoo.
All right.
That's on our people, man. That hoodoo. That's on our people to where they don't care. Oh, that can't be true. You know, all I know is me and Massa. Cornbread. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 16. Right? And the earth helped the woman. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood. Come on, man. I love it, man. Because we're going to go into it. Keep reading. Come on.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman.
Come on.
And went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
Because that's what's going to happen when now the truth is starting to be told. Like you said, Dwight Howard had a little bit of truth, and what happened? Oh, you canceled.
Yeah.
You out of there.
Yeah, they dropped him, and this is a Hall of Famer.
Look at this.
This is somebody that carried that environment. So.
And they don't even care about it. No different from us when coming to know the truth and we start speaking about it. They're going to make it hard for a black man. They're going to make it hard for our videos to get out.
Yeah.
Right? They don't want to hear that at your job. About what? That the greats of the scriptures in the past history look like us.
Yeah.
It says, what is that, verse 17? It says the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the what?
With the remnant of her seed.
Yeah. He's going to try to make it hard to persecute now who? Those that are awoke. That's why, brothers and sisters, you got to wake up and understand what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a sadistic monster that wants to keep control and to have people to think the narrative that he wrote. So he will do anything to do what? To keep it hid. Talking about DNA testing. For what? That ain't coming out fair.
No.
I believe you can't even do DNA testing in Israel or something like that. I heard, right?
I think it's against the law.
It's against the law. Look at that. They know who's who, right? Right? Now they want to outlaw certain information in books. Like this book that we're going to get into, James, by his contemporaries, this book is $2,000. $1,900. Then I went back when I first looked it up, like it was $2,000.
Yeah.
I seen $1,900. You know, I bought it. Thank the Lord at a cheaper price. Thank the Lord.
God.
Got it from England. Got it from UK.
Man.
But this is what you need, Doc. Because they hide things in a book, right? You know, but they're trying their hardest to do what? To not allow a black man to know where he derived from, right? And the people that ruled the world. Keep reading. Come on, finish this.
Which keep the commandments.
Right. You hear that? You hear that? They're wroth now with the people that keep the commandments. So, brothers and sisters, understand a lot of your peers, your co-workers, your family members that are not in tune with the spirit of the Father, they don't want to hear that. They're going to make your life hard. That's why the Father said what? Gather together.
Yep.
Oh, nation not to Zion. You're supposed to be around godly men and godly women that get motivated and excited off of finding truth that's been hidden for centuries.
Come.
Right? These are the things that's supposed to now get you in the spirit to now come around and lock in with like-minded people. Because the woman or the serpent, the beast, is making war against them that keep the commandments. This is why it's going to get harder in the last days, because we're not going to go for all their tricks. We're not going to go for all their lies. You're not going to now think that I believe that I'm lesser than an individual than you, when I know damn well I'm God's chosen children. Right? And we're going to regain our throne. We're going to regain the kingdom. Go ahead.
And keep the testimony.
Come on.
And keep the testimony of Jesus Christ.
Right, there you go. Keep the testimony.
And have the testimony.
There you go. And have the testimony of Christ. Yahweh Shai. Right? Understanding what he looks like. Who he came for. See, those things the world don't give a damn about. Y'all see that? But this scripture shows forth that what? That the serpent was now going to come out with lies and hypocrisies and what? Academic fraud. Job 9:24. Job chapter 9 and verse 24. Right? The Bible already foretold what was going to happen. We can't hide from it. Wake up, Israel. What you thought was normal ain't normal. Who you thought was cool ain't cool. Most High is bringing it out. He's striking them down, He's striking them down, man. These culture vultures have been vulturing for too long. They've been vulturing for too long. This is why we need to come together. Right? Come together in our communities. Everybody keep running to the damn white man. He's a liar and a thief. He's a mass manipulator. Talking about black folks scamming. Nigga, you are the epitome of identity fraud. Man. Identity theft. The epitome of it.
They just caught us on, just last year. They don't even put this on the news, but this is on the federal government website. This is on the FBI. They literally arrested one of their FBI agents who was running a case, basically. I don't know the terminology, but he was running a case in another country.
Operation.
That was the word. He was running an operation in a whole other country, and he was managing the operation in another country. So what he did was he got paid $250K to overlook a businessman who was doing shiesty business. And he just got caught, but nobody's seen that on the news. They didn't put none of that information on the news about this dude doing all this shiesty stuff, but just speak to the point you're talking about as far as just how shiesty they are, and everybody's running to a shyster.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, everybody's putting their trust and faith in Donald Trump. Right?
God.
He's a liar too. He's a devil too.
Man.
Don't trip. I know you're trying to get your taxes right. Right? But don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. So we're at Job 9:24. Let's get to it. Come on.
Job chapter 9, verse 24.
Go ahead.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
This is what the Father prophesied was going to happen. And we know that this did happen because of what? Our disobedience. So in regards of our disobedience and being the main rulership of the earth, what you think Esau going to do? They're going to cause mayhem to happen. Read it again.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Right.
And he covereth the faces.
He does what?
He covereth the faces of the judges.
Right, that cover, that kashah, which means to cover, conceal, or hide. So he's going to hide the what?
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
That is a hard scripture. He's going to now cover up the faces to where you wouldn't recognize who the true judges and rulers and kings and dignitaries are. This is what the wicked do. And then they push out the lies, the hypocrisies. They make you think that you was just a what? Man, I seen the videos. It was a brother working out. They said, man, he was probably expensive back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But going back to what? Slave days. He'd probably been worth about $300-400, they said.
Oh, wow.
But they was commenting on his video, right? But that's the audacity of the wicked. Because they didn't know that they came from caves, right? And they were the first Slavs or Slavic slaves. Right? But they now want to put on us what? That we're nothing. Come on, man. You got brothers broke still with gold on, man. Right? Trying to live their best life, man. Jaguar, Maserati. You thought slavery taught you that? Nah, that was in your bones, man. That's in your spirit, in your blood. Of what? The finer things of life. So it says that the earth was going to be what? Read it again.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Go ahead.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
Read.
If not.
If it ain't the so-called white man, read.
Where and who is it?
Who is this person that's doing this fraudulent activity? Y'all see this? The wicked was going to do what? Cover the faces of the judges. And we know the pure example that we see today is Christ. They got Christ looking everything opposite of what the Bible says. That just lets you know that a lot of our people are simple. They don't care to read, and they don't care to fact check. Because today we're going to fact check. Whatever we say, we're going to prove it. Y'all see that? If I say something, tell me to prove it. Right? Tell me to prove it. Because that's what we're going to do today. We're not scared to now show forth, right, the lies and hypocrisies that the Bible said the wicked was going to do. Because exactly what y'all are seeing on the screen is called academic fraud. You can write this down real quick. Academic fraud. It's no different from plagiarism whenever you're in college or in high school. You take somebody else's work and take the credit for it. Or you do what? You now rewrite something that was already done and you still take what? The credit, like that's me. That's me. Nigga, that ain't you. You did a black and white. Academic fraud involves a deliberate effort to deceive. Right? Academic fraud involves a deliberate effort to deceive and includes plagiarism. Fabrication of data. Fabrication of data, which means what? You lie in regards to the things that you found. Academic fraud involves a deliberate effort. If you can get that definition up there too. Academic fraud involves a deliberate effort to deceive and includes plagiarism, fabrication of data, misrepresentation of historical sources. Misrepresentation of historical sources. And that is what the world that we live in has done. They've misrepresented historical, scholastic sources that has been published from back in the 1600s. And we're going to go into it today. Yes.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21.
You go hold that. But yes, but that's it. Right? It says misrepresentation of historical sources, tampering with evidence. Tampering with evidence? That goes right in what? Iconoclasm. Now we're going to go right after this definition. Now you want to do what? You want to now tailor these pictures to now favor what? You. It's really a picture of Denzel, but you done photoshopped it, put your eyes and your nose, talk about that's me, boo. That's me. Yes.
Man, this is cold, man, because this is righteously cold.
Right.
Because there's people out there, that is lacking in knowledge and in the Christian world, right? And they'll say, oh, color doesn't matter. But if you see what you just bringing out, it shows the white supremacy that's been taking place.
Right.
The deception and the deceit. Because the Bible says don't take away or don't add.
There you go.
And they're doing that by doing what you just saying.
There you go. Because they're in fight or flight mode right now, right? They're fighting to survive. The so-called white man knows he has a little time. America knows. Europe knows. The Britons know. Damn, Benjamin Netanyahu, he knows. Talking about Trump can get in the Gaza Strip. Are you serious? They're going to park in there. That's wild, Doc. They trying every trick to do what? To keep maintaining their lie that they've been trying to fulfill for a certain time. Shalom, sis. That they've been trying to fulfill for a certain time. Falsehood. But going back to the definition of academic fraud. Academic fraud involves a deliberate effort to deceive and includes plagiarism, fabrication of data, misrepresentation of historical sources that we're not going to do today. We're going to historical sources that are 300 years old. We're going back 300 years to sources that are verified by scholars to be true. That is information that is an eyewitness account of what was going on in the 1600s, right? Look at that. Academic fraud. We're going right to it. Right? But again, academic fraud involves a deliberate effort to deceive, and it includes plagiarism, fabrication of data, misrepresentation of historical sources, tampering with evidence, selective suppression of unwanted or unaccepted results. They want to suppress now information that goes against what they've spoken or goes against even what? The image of the beast. Yes.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that last part? Selective recession.
Selective suppression. Selective suppression of unwanted or unacceptable results. And theft of ideas. Some cases of academic fraud are easy to detect and prove. And that's what we're going to do today. We've proven all the academic fraud that has been pushed out for the ages, that a lot of us read in our historical books in high school and college. There's a lot of things that is fraudulent, and that's the problem. And it can be proved as well.
Come on.
Y'all see this?
Come
on. The so-called beast knows what he's doing. And when I speak of the beast, I'm speaking of this Edomite nation that's in the forefront of deceiving the world. Y'all see that?
God.
Because how did they cause academic fraud? Right? Where in the Bible can I go to show academic fraud was being done even in the ancient times? Before Christ was born, academic fraud was in full effect. They knew exactly what to do to now discredit, to dissolve true history.
Yeah.
The so-called white, don't put it past him. He's been at it for a long time. Right? Your roots go further back than Harriet Tubman. It goes further back than what's his name?
Nat Turner.
Nat King Cole.
Oh, right.
It goes further back than that. And we're going to prove that. 1 Maccabees 3 and 48.
1 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48.
Yep, a few more scriptures. We're going to get into it. Go ahead.
And laid open the book of the law.
So what happened when the Greeks took over our temple in 193? But that was 193 AD. Right? Give or take on the year. Right? 193. Let's get this real quick. Where are we at again?
1 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48.
1 Maccabees 3 and verse 48. Don't worry about it. We're going to get to it. Let's read up a little bit. Read verse 46. Come on.
Verse 46. Wherefore the Israelites assembled themselves together and came to Maspha over against Jerusalem.
Come on.
From in Maspha was the place where they prayed aforetime in Israel.
Right. So we're dealing with now when the Greeks are starting to overpower our brothers and sisters, right? That the Most High now sent the Greeks, the so-called white men, the Edomite nation, to now take us out of power. All right? So we're going to go into what was happening during the time of the Greeks. Go ahead.
Verse 47. Then they fasted that day.
My apologies, 137 BCE. 137 BCE before Christ. Go ahead.
And put on sackcloth and cast ashes upon their heads.
They were mourning. They were going through it. We're being attacked By who? The so-called white man, our enemy, that the Bible just said in Revelations 12, the serpent that was now wroth with the woman, right? The serpent, the so-called white man. Go ahead.
And rent their clothes.
And did what?
And rent their clothes.
Read.
And laid open the book of the law.
It says they did what?
Laid open the book of the law.
So the Greeks laid open our book. They laid open our scrolls. They laid open our images. And did what? Read.
Wherein the heathen.
The who?
The heathen.
The who?
The heathen.
It's talking about the Greeks. Go ahead.
Has sought to paint the likeness of their images.
There you go. They painted the what?
Likeness of their images.
Iconoclasm. They now did what? Instead of that image being black, oh, we got to lighten that up a little bit. Right? We got to now distort that. Oh, that wasn't a Negroid. We got to knock the noses off. Right? We now got to show that person as being what? No, that man had alabaster skin. Right? It says they fought to paint the what? Read.
The likeness of their images.
Uh-huh.
They brought also.
But y'all see that though?
God.
That's academic fraud. That's fraudulent behavior. You're tampering with evidence. You're misrepresenting historical sources. That's our law book. But now you want to put who? You in it. Because that's what the Greeks were about. It's a term called Hellenism. Where they now want to merge all religions together. Merge that monotheistic worship of one God. Oh yeah, nah. We finna get y'all over here. Put down not eating pork, man. Right? Don't even worry about Black Jesus no more. Don't worry about your laws no more. Y'all see this? Academic fraud, a deliberate effort to deceive by fabricating of data, tampering with evidence, selective suppression of unwanted or unacceptable results, and theft of ideas. Y'all see that? Theft of ideas. Because what's happening right now in 1 Maccabees 3 and 48 is called iconoclasm, which is the action of attacking or assertively rejecting cherished beliefs and institution or established values and practices. They're taking away the established practice or information that was already dropped, which is what? That Christ, they said that his skin was as what? As a bronze. As if it what? Burned in a furnace. Well, why aren't you showing that imagery of a derivative of brown? Brass is a derivative of brown. A brown penny. Burning in an oven. They said that's what Christ looked like. Why are they not showing that? Why are they misrepresenting that? 2 Maccabees 7 and 31. Why are they misrepresenting the image of the greats? Well, it's because they're liars and they're deceivers. And this is why the Father said in the last days what was going to happen. Huh? We were going to be set free. Give me that John 8:32. Read where you at. Come on.
2 Maccabees chapter 7 verse 1.
2 Maccabees chapter 7 and verse 31. 2 Maccabees chapter 7. 2 Maccabees chapter 7 and verse 31. Go ahead.
And thou, 2 Maccabees chapter 7 verse 31.
Go ahead.
And thou that have been the author of all mischief.
Do y'all hear that? The so-called white man, the Greeks, the Romans, right? The Ottoman Turks, right? The so-called white man that now adopted Islam, right? They've been what? Read it again, 31.
And thou that have been the author of all mischief.
Go ahead.
Against the Hebrews.
Yeah, the Hebrews have been dealt wrongfully. There's been a lot of mischievous actions against the prophets, against the children of God, to where we don't even care to read. We don't care to learn what was falsely told. They don't beat us down. They don't put too much chlorine in the food. Too much sugar in the fake bread.
Yeah.
We dizzy. It says much mischief. And thou hast been the author of all mischief against the who?
Against the Hebrews.
Read.
Shall not escape the hands of God.
They're not. They're not going to escape the hands of the Father. Y'all see that? They're not going to escape. If you don't mind, if you can move from that so everybody can see clearly. Right? The so-called white man is not going to escape from the atrocities and the lies that they've done. Y'all with me? Any questions so far? Anybody online? Any questions? Right? John 14:26 and that John 8:32. I want. Give me that John 8:32 first.
John chapter 8, verse 32.
Right, John 8:32. What's happening, man? The shackles is coming off you, man. Right? The real true, the truth is coming out of what King James looked like, but also what? His contemporaries, those around him, the noble court, the military members from all different nations. It's going to make y'all want to just wild out. It's going to make you want to go home and get on Amazon and buy a book.
God.
Oh, it is. It's going to make you want to buy a book because you got to see it yourself. When I heard certain things, I said, no, I got to get that. I got to get that. Let's read where you at.
They'll bump up that price on you.
I'm trying to tell you.
God.
They bumped that price up. This is a $2,000 book. Look it up now. I want to see how much it is.
Oh.
James 1 and his contemporaries.
James.
But I have it. I ain't paid $2,000 for it. The Lord was gracious.
Yeah.
I slid through the algorithm.
Yes.
Right? But let's read this. Come on.
John chapter 8, verse 32.
Come on.
And ye shall know the truth.
Right?
And the truth shall make you free.
There it is. The Father is waking us up to what? The truth that's now by the way of what? History. We went, and you weren't here, but we went to Revelations 12 where it says the earth would help the woman. The earth representing what? Historical facts, archaeology, all the things that we're finding in the Smithsonian, right? Who knows what they got in the Vatican? All the hidden things, right? The different artifacts that's being uncovered in the ground, right? You got, like you said, the footprints in the world. Look at it. How much is it? It's $737, and that was 1,000. But when we looked at it, it was 1,900. It was 2,000.
Somebody probably bought that one.
I don't know what happened. They made it seem like it was only one copy.
I seen that. Yeah, they definitely be.
$700 for this right now.
It's probably on the other side. It's probably more.
Oh, I know it is, man. But let's read that again. Come on.
John chapter 8, verse 32.
Go ahead.
And ye shall know the truth.
Yeah.
And the truth shall make you free.
There you go. And that's what we're going to get today. A lot of truth. Facts. Right? Studied facts. Sources. Valid sources. Because that's one thing with the white man in his scholastic world. A lot of times the sources that we strive to use, which are black men and women, they want to deny it. They want to say that it's not valid. Right? How many sources did that author get to validate his statement?
Yeah.
They don't want to use the sources. That happened to me in college one time when I brought Babylon and Timbuktu in class and tried to bust down the teacher real quick. She looked at the book. She went to the back. She went to the back like this, like real disrespectful, and act like Babylon and Timbuktu wasn't credible. When Babylon and Timbuktu has good information, not all, but there's a lot of things in that book that is valid in regards about who we are. Right, that the slave ships was filled of what? Black Hebrew slaves in Africa, which he was on point about. And we know history and other sources back that up. But the Father says that the truth was going to set us free, and this is what's happening. John 14:26. Come on.
John chapter 14, verse 26.
Go ahead.
But the Comforter.
The what?
The Comforter.
The Comforter being the scriptures, right? The word of the Lord. Go ahead.
Which is the Holy Spirit.
There you go. The Holy Spirit. Come on.
Whom the Father will send in my name.
Read.
He shall teach you all things.
There you go. You see that? The Father's going to now bring these things back. He's going to twinkle your spirit to desire and to want to go seek and find out the truth. To know that what? That great men and women are from the same lineage of Christ. The same lineage of Solomon. That's what we're finding out. That we all come from the same seed of the great nation of Israel. Go ahead.
And bring all things to your remembrance.
Right, there you go. Bring it what?
All things to your remembrance.
Bring it all back to your remembrance. Read.
Whatsoever I have said unto you.
Come on.
Peace I leave with you.
There you go. Right? And that's what we're feeling right now is peace. We're feeling peace, man. I love this. You know why? Because facts don't lie. Right? It said, let God be true and every man a liar. The Father knew what to preserve in these last days and what to bring up, what to put on certain people's spirit to write about.
Yeah.
The books that we are going into are 300, 400, 150 years old. Valid books, that the Father put on their spirit to bring back to our remembrance of who we are.
Yeah.
Where we derived from before the slave ships. Y'all see that? So we're going to go right into King James of Scotland and England. Right? But what I want to do before we dive in, we're going to touch on a few vocabulary words because there's a lot of different modern terminology, or I should say early modern English terminology. Early English terminology that a lot of us don't know about, that when you read these books, you'll hear it pop up a lot. Y'all see that? So we're gonna hit a few words, right? So we're gonna go into the Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary. I advise everybody to get this dictionary. All right? Because the words of those dark ages, right? The time of nobility, they were very rich, they were poetic, and they were metaphoric. Y'all see this? So one word that's going to stick out a lot is the word swarthy. Swarthy. You're done. So we're going to go to the definition of swarthy in the 1828 Noah Webster's dictionary. Because what Esau likes to do, right? They like to proclaim that when you hear black, I'm black unto the ground. Oh, that was just his spirit. Give them that so they can see. Sit on this side or somewhere else. Right? They want to take away the definition that the Bible, the statements that the Bible is saying about these men and saying that, no, that's his feelings. Right? That's just how he felt. He felt dark at that time. I'm here to let you know that ain't the case. That ain't the case. So we're going to the American Dictionary, the English language, Noah Webster's 1828. There's a lot of good words. We're going straight to swarthy. All right? So we are going to swarthy, and we're on there. Y'all can see it. Swarthy, right? You can actually, let's start up with swarth.
Swart.
Excuse me, y'all. Coming back from this flu. Let's read this. Come on.
Swart.
Yeah.
Being of a dark hue.
There you go. Hue. Hue means what? Color. Right? Being of a dark hue. And when you deal with this word swarth, right? And I'm going to kind of give you a quick etymology of the word, is that this word is where you get steward, right? Different words deriving from swarthy because it meant of color. All right. So when we start digging into a lot of these men, right? These women in their last names, they held the names that showed forth that they were men and women of color. All right. And we'll read that later on in a few other books. All right. Say it again.
That's like a surname.
Right. A surname. Right.
Yeah.
A descriptive name for this individual. But let's read this. Come on.
Swart. Being of a dark hue.
Go ahead.
Moderately black.
Moderately what?
Black.
There it is. Moderately black. You can't run away from being black or dark skin. Y'all see that? So let's jump down now to what? Swarthi. I want y'all to hear this. This is the dictionary. We are jumping it off with a dictionary word. Vocabulary word. Y'all hear this? And Swarthi, you don't hear that in present usage.
Nope.
You don't hear that verbiage. Swarthi. Oh, that's a Swarthi sister. Right?
All right.
Yeah.
That's a swarth of a brother right there, man. Yeah.
They'll call that the words that you're reading out of this book archaic words.
There you go, archaic.
Yeah.
Right. Man, you know, so crazy. I wouldn't even call it that because it's right in our face.
Yeah.
You know, but it is ancient, right? Or archaic, because archaic goes back to when you got archaic and then you got what?
No, that's ancient.
Okay, archaic and ancient, right? Archaic is what those Middle Ages. Let's read this. Come on.
So we're jumping down.
Right.
Swarthi.
Swarthi. Let's read.
Swarthi, being of a dark hue.
That dark color. Go ahead.
Or dusky complexion.
Dusky complexion. Let it keep edifying.
Tawny.
When you go into that definition, that kind of went into like a light bright.
Yeah.
Because remember, there's so many different shades of what? Of brown. We're not really black. We're brown. We're as the color of the ground. And as the scripture says, Jacob is as a speckled bird unto me. So there's a lot of different shades of black. Y'all see that? And when we go through these sources, you're gonna hear the different shades, but they don't call it like light bright or red bone. They may call it sanguine, right? Or they may call it fair, right? Which means that you were a little bit lighter than them chocolates, right? Them dark chocolates. So again, for those that are coming in, we're now uncovering the hidden history, the hidden legacy of King James, right? But how I want to touch this first is to kind of give you an understanding about the world that he lived in, right? And the people that was around him. So we're now in the definition of Swarthi is because in a few books that we're going to go to, you're going to see that word used. But now you'll have a better comprehension of what Swarthi means. You already see it already, huh? That's cold, ain't it? Let's read it. Come on, read it again. Swarthi.
Swarthi.
Yeah.
Being of dark hue.
Come on.
Or dusky complexion.
Yeah.
Tawny.
All the way down.
In warm climates, the complexions of men is universally...
I want you to hear this. It says the complexion of men is universally. Like majority of men in the world. Universally or what?
Universally swarthy.
Uh-huh.
Or black.
They're mainly what? Dark complected. Come on, man. If you got that last name Stewart, Hampton, that's your last name. That wasn't a slave master. That's for another class.
Right.
Wasn't a slave master. Everybody wasn't Kunta Kinte. I'm going to keep saying it. The least amount of slaves were dropped off in America. From Africa, the least amount. We were here already. And we can prove that. That's for part 2. Right? Or 3.
Right.
But it says that universally, the complexion of men were what? Swarthy or black. Go ahead.
The Moors.
So now it's giving you now different what? Different now specs, or should I say sections of the world, nationalities that are what? Black. So the Moors, and we know Moor just means black. And a lot of times when they use this word Moor, it was speaking of Israel. Israelites scattered. All right? And we'll see that in other books. But we knew this already about the Moors, right? We were the Moors. Well, it's validating it right here in the 1828 Noah Dictionary that the Moors were what? Black. Read.
The Moors. Spaniards.
The who?
Spaniards.
The who?
Spaniards.
Now, when you even go into Spaniard history, there was 2 sets of Spaniards. You had the melanated set, and then you also had Esau. That's for a whole nother breakdown to understand about what happened there. Y'all see that? So it's telling you the Moors were black. The what?
The
Spaniards were black. Go ahead.
And Italian.
And the who?
Italian.
And the who?
Italian.
I thought that was what is it?
Al Capone.
Al Capone. What's the actor? Al Pacino.
Con.
His family.
Con.
Godfather. Right? The original Italians were dark skinned. You'll know them in the ancient world or the archaic world as the Etruscans.
Con.
Right? That's why there's so much into this. Listen, I didn't know where to start.
Con.
Right? But we're gonna start with just definitions, and then we're gonna go into eyewitness accounts to verify what we're reading in the dictionary. That you had men and women of the Moors, Spaniards, Italians that were what? Black. Let's keep reading. Come on.
The Moors, Spaniards, and Italians
Go ahead.
are more swarthy.
Yeah.
Than the French.
Hold on. They're more swarthy than what?
Than the French.
So they're saying that what? That the French is swarthy as well. Y'all see that?
Come on.
The French is swarthy as well. But you didn't know that one, did you? We ain't even listen. We're only in the dictionary right now.
Right.
This is what they hide in plain sight. That is telling you the French are black. That the Moors and the Spaniards and Italians were more darker than the French. Go ahead.
Con. The Moors. The Moors, Spaniards, and Italians are more swarthy.
Go ahead.
Than the French, Germans.
The who?
French, Germans.
Also, the Germans were what? Black. Read.
And English.
And the what?
English.
And English. Because we know that King James was what? The King of England, Ireland, Scotland, and Scotland, Ireland, and England. Right? King 6th of Ireland and Scotland, and 1st of England, because he did what? He united the kingdom. Because that was the spirit that the Most High put on him in what? Unity. Under one banner. Coming together. Zephaniah 2:1. The spirit of the Lord was on that man. It wasn't a white man. Because we're seeing here that these different ethnic groups that all and majority run back to who? The nation of Israel.
Con.
Tell me to prove it.
Prove it.
We'll prove it. Right? We'll prove it. But y'all see that? Any questions on that? What's your thought process with that, Sister Nikki?
No, I keep thinking about the Dark Ages and how I learned about the Dark Ages in school.
Okay.
And then
Did you even learn about the Dark Ages?
Well, evidently I did not, because I didn't know the Dark Ages were evidently it was about black people, but I didn't know that.
There you go. Listen, all of that history, right? Even, I mean, let's be real. The Bible wasn't during the Dark Ages, but the Bible is black, right? They misrepresent our people fully. They want to erase us completely, right? So now we're now getting information and knowledge of what we look like in these times. Because I don't remember anything learned in high school about the Dark Ages. All I remember is what? The Renaissance era, the rebirth, right? The only thing that they tried to transpire into us in regards to the Dark Ages was that there was a lot of disease. That's why they call it the dark. A lot of death. Nah, it was a lot of royalty. And that's why when you look at those images that they put on the screen, those aren't made up images. Those are images that run back to the 1400s. We're gonna show some ancient pictures. Y'all see that? Right. Isaiah 8:20. How can I explain the Levites being Haitians? We'll do a class for you on that. Right? That's a long time coming for that one.
All right, come.
And I know. Right? So, y'all see that with that definition. Right? In regards to swarthy. Right? I'm going to do one more. Let's go to brunette. I don't have it up there, but I want to do brunette real quick because this will set you up for something in the future. Brunette in the 1828 dictionary. All right, because a lot of times when you think about the word brunette, you think what? Hair color.
Gone.
But let's see how they used it in early English vocabulary. What the definition was, what was the context of using that word, which is brunette. Right? Check this out. Brunette. I don't have it up there, but it's in the 1828. You can probably you got it on your phone?
Yeah.
You can Google it, or you can get the app to be able to look that up. So baby. Let's hit that real quick. Go ahead.
Brunette.
Mm-hmm.
A woman with a brown.
Right.
Or.
So it's a woman with what?
A brown.
A brown. Go ahead.
Or.
Yeah.
Dark complexion.
Dark what?
Complexion.
It ain't talking about hair. This is talking about the way she looks, her skin. Complexion goes into your skin color. Like you are a light chocolate. That's complexion. Esau's not white. He's red. You can see his blood forth through his skin. Y'all see that? So when you deal with this term brunette, it meant what? That brown, dark complexion. Y'all see that? Because that will do what? That will now assist you in other now vocabulary words that you may see in these different books of when they describe certain people. So we see brunette was speaking about what? That complexion. So let's get into it. Let's get into these eyewitness accounts. The first book we're about to go into the memoirs of the Secret Service of John Mackey, Esquire. We're going to go into the memoirs of the Secret Service of John Mackey. This is a 300-year-old book. This is a 300-year-old book that was published in 1733. 1733. Remember, King James died 1625 in that time, 1625. So this is even after he was around, maybe another 100 years. Y'all see that? It was published in 1733. So we're going to now read the memoirs of the Secret Service of John Mackey, eyewitness account. And it'll be up on that screen. All right. And we're going to start at page 1. Right. We're going to start at page 1 in this book. And to give you a quick synopsis of this book, John Mackey was a government spy, right? He was a spy for William III of England. All right. So during this time, there was a lot of political war. They also had a war called the Revolution, where you had different sects of kings with opposing ideas, right? You'll hear the term during this time of the Jacobites. The Jacobites was King James' family after him that still believed in what? Church and state, mixing now the church with rulership, or having also that monarchy, that one king that was chosen by God. That's what they believed in. Y'all see this? So there's this rift going on during the time in England. So King William hired Mackey to now spy on another family and these individuals to see, okay, are they trying to rebel? Are they trying to do anything? So that's what they set him on. So I'll read it through real quick, because John Mackey has an eyewitness account of the people during that time. It says Mackey worked as a government spy for William III. Excuse me. For William III of England during the late 17th century, monitoring the activities of the Jacobites. All right, so that's what they call them, right? The Jacobites, which they're speaking of who? It's Israelites, right? Using the term Jacob. Supporters of the deposed King James II and the 6th of or 7th of Scotland and England. This is not King James that authorized the translation. This is actually his grandson. All right. It says in England and Scotland. I think it's like great-grandson, that down the line, right? His role involved gathering intelligence on the political movements of those loyal to the Stuart cause. And the steward cause, again, was King James family. All right? I want y'all to hear this about the author. His memoirs, published in 1733, are considered a valuable resource for understanding the personalities, politics, and intrigues of the late Stuart and early Gregorian period. So it's saying that the things that he's saying in this book is very resourceful for understanding the people of this time. Y'all see this? So let's get into it. Page 1. Page 1. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Page 1. All right. Page 1. What does that say?
Page 1.
Characters of the court of Great Britain.
So what we're about to read, people, men that are characters of the court. The court is like modern day Congress, right? You have all these men and women that are in position to do what? To make the world go round, to make decisions. They may work for certain dukes. They may work for certain kings. You see this? They're in position of power. So you're dealing with noble people. This is ranking men and women in society in Great Britain that we're about to read about. Y'all see that? So it says, read it one more time.
Page 1. Characters of the court of Great Britain. His Royal Highness, Prince George, husband to Queen Anne.
You all right? Go ahead. Just finish that.
Okay. Prince George, husband to Queen Anne.
Go ahead.
And Lord High Admiral of England.
Right, so let's jump to verse 26. Let's go to page 26. Okay. Let's get right to it. Page 26. So you're dealing with, again, nobility, right? I believe, let's read, I got 25 on there, right? Yeah, let's read that 25 first, right? Let's read this page 25 to give an understanding of who we're talking about. All right, so again, this is the court of Great Britain. But he's going to give a description. Y'all see that? This is an eyewitness account. You can't lie off of this.
No, sir.
This is true. This is they call it a primary source. Ain't no running from it.
Can't hide.
You cannot hide what he saw. And then they validated and said it was of its importance. But what did they do? Hide it. We ain't never read about this in class. We never read about this in school. When the hell this came from, man? Let's read. Come on.
This is page 25.
Right, page 25.
Right. Of the court of Great Britain, right? So it says Daniel, Earl of Nottingham.
So Earl again is a position, right, within British ranks of Earl. You have your dukes, obviously nobility, all right? So the Earl. What you got, right? What is the rank of Earl? Nobility in the kingdom. In modern Britain, an Earl is a member of the peerage, ranking below a Marquis and above a Viscount. So a lot of times that Earl may be like an assistant to the king, like I was saying, right? But he's still of some type of help. But go ahead.
Daniel, Earl of Nottingham.
Go ahead.
Secretary of State.
There he is. So that was his job. So the Earl of Nottingham, Mr. Daniel, he was the Secretary of what?
State.
Secretary of State. Y'all see that? That's Condoleezza Rice, wasn't she? Condoleezza Rice was Secretary of State in America, wasn't she? Y'all look that up, man. Wake up. Condoleezza Rice was Secretary of State. But it shows what? That's a high position. These ain't slaves we talking about. Y'all see that?
That's what she was.
Yeah, Condoleezza Rice was what? Secretary of State. Look at that. High on the hall. Got that money. $200,000, $300,000 paycheck. This is who Daniel was. Sir Daniel, Earl Daniel of Nottingham. Go ahead.
Daniel, Earl of Nottingham, Secretary of State.
Go ahead.
Is eldest son to Mr. Finch.
Right.
Lord Chancellor in the reign of King Charles II.
So his father was a Lord Chancellor. Let's go to the next page, right? To understand about this Secretary of State and what he looked like. This is what we doing here. We figuring out what they look like. What it be? How they was dressed, right? Was it white folks? Like it shows us on what's the one Netflix show? Bridgerton, right? Where you have the court was all white skinned, right?
False.
Let's read. Come on. Right? You can start where the highlight is.
Okay.
Excuse me. This is page 26.
26 now. Go ahead.
He is a zealous
promoter.
He is a zealous promoter of absolute power.
Yeah, that F is actually an S. It looks like an F is an S. You can see that. Yep.
Okay. He is a zealous promoter of absolute power in the state and implicit faith in the church.
Right, so we have faith in the church. Go ahead.
To that degree, as hardly to be in common charity with those of more moderate principles.
Go ahead.
He had also the exterior air of
That's
Bustles?
No, with an S. That's it says he hath also the exterior air of Bushins. You can keep reading.
God.
Do we have that other part, 26?
No, I don't have that one.
Oh, we don't have that?
You didn't say it.
Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, you need this one. You need this one. Right? Yeah, we need to get what? Yeah, we need to get whatchamacallit. We need to get this one. Let's read that. Come on.
This is page 26.
It's all great.
Right?
Go ahead.
He had also the exterior air of bosoms and application enough to make him very capable.
Go ahead.
In his habit and manners.
So it's given again a description of his character. Go ahead.
Very formal.
Very what?
Very formal.
So he's very formal. He was respectful. He knew how to handle himself. Go ahead.
A tall, thin, very black man.
A very what?
Tall, thin, very black man.
Y'all see that? He was a tall, thin, very black. This is Secretary of State. Black man. Dark-skinned man. Swarthy complexion. Y'all see this? Go ahead.
Tall, thin, very black man. Like a Spaniard.
Like a what?
Like a Spaniard.
We just read that in the dictionary. The Noah Webster's dictionary that what? The Spaniards were black. Dark skin. Go ahead.
Like a Spaniard.
Go ahead.
Or Jew.
Or what?
Or Jew.
Or a what?
Or Jew.
Or a Jew. Y'all see that? That this man, Secretary of State, was black like a Jew. Come on, y'all. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. What's the next page we're going to for this? We're going to hit a few of them. Go to page 29. Earl of Rochester. Let's deal with the Earl of Rochester. Right? These are old names here. Right? Thinking that America came up with these new names. When you ride down a highway, the names that you see a lot of time derives right back to England. Right? You'll have Northampton. Northampton, that was a country or a city in England. Right? When you're going back down to VA. You know, so a lot of connections, right? So we see that the Secretary of State was what? A thin black man that looked like a Spaniard and a black Jew. Y'all see that? So now we're on what? Page 29. Who's this? Come on.
Page 29.
Right.
Lawrence, Earl of Rochester.
Right. Lawrence, Earl of Rochester. And what y'all could do, go back through the class, but look up the images of these men.
Yeah.
And see why they have that altered look, right? They have that misrepresentation of who? Of these men. There we go. That's what I should have did. Right? Oh, that's crazy.
There go Daniel Earl.
There go Earl Daniels.
False.
Yeah, send that to me. I like that one. Oh, it was 2? Right. It's all gravy. But let's keep reading. Come on. Let's keep this moving.
This is page 29. Lawrence, Earl of Rochester, is the second son to Chancellor Hyde, Lord Clarendon, and uncle to the present Queen.
Right, get right to it on the highlight. Right to the highlight.
He was, when very young, employed by King Charles II in foreign negotiations, and by King James.
Right, so he was what? He was now, his job was foreign negotiations. So jump to the next page. Right, jump to the next page. All right. And we're getting right to that highlighted part. You got this?
Wow.
Not even this?
I don't have 26, none of those.
What do you have?
I have page 17, 16, 25.
17? Oh, okay. 25? Oh, okay.
16.
You got 140? You got 143?
151. I don't know what page that is.
It's okay.
I just want to hear this one.
Nah, so it's a lot. It's a lot to put up. Let's keep reading. Come on.
Okay.
God. So this is page 30.
Right.
Speaking on the characters of these distinguished men, right?
God.
So, and this was, just to recant his name, this is Lawrence, Earl of Rochester. He is of a middle stature,
right?
Well shaped, of a brown complexion.
Of a what?
Brown complexion.
Right. So this man now had a what complexion?
Brown complexion.
Go ahead.
And about 60 years old.
Look at that. 60 years old. Y'all hear that?
Come.
Again, these are noblemen. Let's go to page 16.
Come.
You got that, right? Let's go to 16, 17, right? So that was the Duke of Rochester, right?
Come.
Right? Duke of Rochester. Listen, how do y'all feel about, and y'all are about to see it, right? About nobility in England looking like you. What you got?
I was just gonna say, man, these pictures of the men that they mentioned in the book,
right?
They make them look like homosexuals, man.
There you go. Well, because Esau is gay, right? Esau is a homosexual, right? So we know that everything about him is feminine, you know, and that's why they didn't even hold the vigor, right, of the continence of these men. We were strong men. All right. So let's read this real quick. We're gonna deal with now Charles, Duke of Somerset. Somerset.
Woo.
Right? Right, that boy bedazzled out, ain't he? Come on, that wasn't in 2025. Some 2012. That's ancient. Yeah, look at Toussaint.
All right.
The Haitian Revolution, they weren't slaves. They were organized men. But let's read this though real quick. Come on.
This is page 16.
Right. So again, we're in the book of the memoirs of Secret Service of John Mackey. All right. So he was a spy that was now able to do what? To now go around. And obviously he was what? He was a black man too.
Right.
Right. To be able now to get their character and to be around them to understand how they operate in some of the facets of their personalities. What you have, Sister Nikki?
So black guy was the Charles Duke of Somerset?
No. That man, that was she put up another picture of yeah.
Black nobility.
Say that again?
That was just black nobility.
Yeah, that was Toussaint Overture.
Yeah,
Louverture.
Right.
That was a Haitian man. Right, but just showing what? Still nobleness.
Yeah.
Within the melanated. We got some other images, I believe, right? We got some other images. Yeah, they call it bogus, fake. But let's read this. Come on. Let's read this.
This is page 16.
Yep.
This is Charles, Duke of Somerset.
Duke of Somerset. So that was like a vice president. Like he was the guy. Go ahead.
This Duke, in the reign of King Charles II.
So he was now in the reign of King Charles II. Let's go to the next page. Right.
Page 17.
Right to the point. Page 17. Go ahead.
He is of a middle stature, well-shaped, of very black complexion.
Of what?
Very black complexion.
Y'all hear this? This man was a very black complexion. This is a Duke. Not Duke Ellington.
No.
Right? That took that name.
Right.
Duke. Nobility. Right? Oh man, for some reason it wouldn't give me all that.
Oh,
yeah, the website. That's undeniable. 300-year-old book said it was of a what?
Very black complexion.
That's what it say up there, don't it?
Don.
Go ahead.
A lover. Of music.
He was a lover of what?
Of music.
Go ahead.
And poetry.
Just like a Negro. Right? Writing lyrics in the room.
Right.
You know, got the cello and the violin playing while he's dropping his thoughts, right? On a cool summer day back in the way. I seen that. You're right. I seen a lawyer that had a few dollars that I had to get out of his pocket.
Right.
Whatever it was, but this man was into music and poetry. Why do you think black art, right? Negro art is the most sought out.
Yeah.
You got eclectic and autistic people like Kanye, right? These cats make fabulous music.
Yeah.
Right? When you go back to the greats, the guitar players, when you deal with Mozart, that was us.
Yep.
Y'all see this? Let's keep reading. Go ahead. I should have got these ones. Yeah, this is way better. Go ahead.
A lover of music. And poetry.
Right. Y'all hear that? And poetry. Go ahead.
Of good judgment. But by reason of a great hesitation in his speech, wants expression. He is about 42 years old.
Right. So he was so close to him, he knew that how he spoke. He hesitated in his speech. You see that? What else you got? You said you have let me see real quick. What else you got? Let's do, is that it?
As pages?
Yeah.
No, I have 155. I have.
Oh, I sent you on another email. Let me get that 155. Let's go to page 155.
I have 151 too.
Okay, let's go there real quick. Yep, 155. Because listen, there's many men that I could have went to. You got 143?
Yes.
Ooh. Yeah, let's go to 143.
43.
Yeah.
Whole 155.
Yeah. Yep. Let's go to 143. Right. So we're going to page 143 to continue to show forth nobility in Great Britain.
Yeah.
Right? Now we're dealing with foreign affairs or foreign ministers. So let's read this real quick. This is page 143. And again, this is the book of the memoirs of the Secret Services of John Mackey. All right. Which is a spy that now went over to England to figure out what the hell was going on. Right? What's that?
Now I know that word we was looking at. It's like it's that's two S's.
Right. Let's read this. Come on.
Okay. This is page 143.
Go ahead.
Speaking on foreign ministers. Mr. Mutin.
Yeah, ambassador.
Ambassador to the King of Portugal.
So this brother had a position of ambassador of Portugal. Right? So even the Portuguese or those that lived in Portugal was what? They were black too. This is where Queen Sophia comes from. Her family actually derives in Portugal. And we can connect those ties with King George, right? And how it was all black families linking together. Y'all see that? So when you look at Bridgerton, right? The movie Bridgerton, you're dealing with Queen Sophia. She came from Portugal. All right? So let's read this. Come on. And mind you, I mean, they show her being black. Do they not? They show her brother being what? Black. Yeah. Look at Bridgerton. She was from Portugal. All right, a royal family from Portugal, and they give you a little bit of the truth. They give you a little bit. Anne Boyle, they tried to show that in a series that she was black, which was true. Anne Boyle was a black woman, but she didn't marry a white man though. Right? They give you a little bit of truth to spread a lot of lies. But let's read this. Come on.
Mr. Mutin, ambassador to the King of Portugal.
Right.
Was bred a common lawyer.
He was what?
Bred a common lawyer.
This man was a lawyer. Read.
and had been many years employed in the affairs of Portugal.
Right, Portugal. So think about it. So he had to do what? Learn that language too. So we definitely were multifaceted in our education. Read.
Which he understands perfectly well.
Look at that. Told you. He understood what? Portuguese well. Keep reading. Down.
Come. He is a man.
He's a what?
A man.
Read.
Of intrigue.
Come on.
But very muddy.
Read.
In his conception.
Think about this. How did you get around to know this? How did you get around to understand and to be able to break a man's character down about how he thinks? Says he was very muddy in his conceptions, how he thought. Go ahead.
And not quickly understood in anything.
Go ahead.
In his complexion.
Yeah, what you got?
What muddy mean?
I don't want to, because muddy just went into just the way that he operated or thought or talked. It was muddy, right? What do you got for muddy real quick? Muddy. Right? Right. It says covered mud. No. We'll get that definition for you. Right. Made foul. Again, it says his conception. Right. Muddy in his conceptions and not quickly understood in anything. So he probably was a little. He probably was an oddball.
Yeah.
He probably was strictly when you deal with the lawyer information, but when it came to probably his natural being was a little off.
Yeah.
Right. So let's keep reading. Come on.
But very muddy
right.
in his conceptions.
Come on.
And not quickly understood in anything.
Read.
In his complexion. And manners.
And manners. Go ahead.
Much of a Spaniard.
Much of a what?
Spaniard.
There you go. So he acted like what? That he was from Spain. Right? He was a Spaniard. Or as whenever you go through other books and as we see it, Iberian. Right? Iberian just meant Spain. Or land of Eber. Right? Or the land of Hebrews. We'll get into that a little bit if we got time. Go ahead.
Much of a Spaniard.
Go ahead.
A tall black man.
He was a tall what?
Black man.
This lawyer was a what?
Tall black man.
Go ahead.
50 years old.
Come on, man. Still moving, still working. Y'all see that? Let's go to 155. Right? We want to 155? Or actually, it's 151, isn't it? Go to 151 first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to 151. One more in regards of foreign ministers. Foreign ministers, right? Let's read this. Come on.
Mr. Stanhope. This is page 151.
Go ahead.
Foreign ministers. Mr. Stanhope, envoy extraordinary.
Come on.
To the States General of United Provinces. He is a man of honor.
Drop down all the way to the point. His son.
His son, Colonel Stanhope, is one of the finest young gentlemen we have. Is very learned with a great deal of wit.
Right, he was intelligent. Come on.
King William designed to have sent him to the court of Sweden.
Right, so he was so intelligent, they wanted to send this man to where?
Sweden.
So this black man's about to go where? Sweden. Because why? We ruled that too. Y'all hear this? Like Esau's not dealing with Jake even like that today. Why don't you see any really black cabinet members under Donald Trump? You may have a few speckled faces, but that's just for what? That's just for the people's eyes.
Right.
Y'all see that? Man, we ruled the world. Let's keep reading. Come on.
Says King William designed to have sent him to the court of Sweden.
Right.
And he is certainly fit for any negotiation.
Go ahead.
The father is now old. And the son, a handsome black man.
A what?
Handsome black man.
This was now the state general. The state general was a handsome black man. Go ahead.
Turned of 30 years of age.
Young man at that.
Wow.
Right? That was ready to negotiate in other courts. In other noble courts of like Sweden and Portugal and all these different things. What you got, sis?
Oh, I was listening to the broadcast today.
Yeah.
And in reference to the people that Trump have under him that there's a black man who was saying, I can't remember what his name is, but he's an idiot.
Right.
But he said daddy's back because Trump was put back in office or something like that.
Right.
That's what the black man said concerning Trump being reelected.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I can't remember what his name was, but he was.
You know.
But that's who our representatives are.
Our people
as black people.
Our people have lost their mind.
Really.
You see that they've gone bonkers for so-called the last white hope. Right? And that's really what this is. So y'all see that, right? So dealing with John Mackey, which is what? These are eyewitness accounts of the court of Great Britain. Right? So we're going to get right into it. Let's deal with the man himself. Right? So we're going to drop that and we're going to go to James 1, right? By his contemporary. So we're going to go into another book, James 1 and his contemporary. You can start at verse or page 12. James 1 and his contemporaries for that. Page 12. Yeah, page 12. Going right into what? Eyewitness accounts also of who? King James himself. The man that authorized the translation. The man that had the spirit of the Most High on him to do that, to fulfill prophecy. Because it was prophecy for that to happen. When you go to Isaiah 28, right? So we're going to read right now in this book, right? Where we at?
So this is James.
1.
Oh,
yeah.
James 1 by his contemporaries.
Yeah. James 1, which is the first of England. Right? Because he unified the kingdom. He unified Ireland, Scotland, also in England. All right. So let's read this. Come on. Right?
Page 12.
I want y'all to hear this real clear. Go ahead.
This king. Character.
Talking about King James' character. Go ahead.
Is much easier,
right,
to take.
Right. So his character, right, who he is easier to take. Go ahead.
Then his picture.
So it was hard to get a picture of King James. You were better off knowing and talking to him than for him to sit down and take a picture. This is what the book is saying. Y'all hear this? What does it mean? There were not a lot of images of King James. So why, when you go to your phone and go to Google and look up King James, you have countless whitewashed images of this man. Read it again.
The king's character is much easier,
go ahead,
to take than his picture. For he could never be brought.
He could what?
Never be brought.
Go ahead.
To sit for taking. He could never be brought to sit for the taking of that.
Right. So it was hard for him to sit and take a picture. Go ahead.
Which is the reason of so good few pieces of him.
Right. Y'all hear that? Yes.
And just trying to picture it. So at that time, it was painting.
Yeah.
So he had to sit there a long period of time while they try to paint his face.
There you go. Took his time to get that picture. You had your hand up?
No, I was going to say the same thing.
Right. Exactly. Y'all see this, right? Go ahead.
Which is the reason of so good few pieces of him.
Right.
But his character was obvious to every eye.
Right. That's it on that. Let's jump to verse next page. Let's go to 15. Page 15, right? Let's get right to it. Page 15. What was that, 16? Slide on over. Yeah, it's all right there next to each other. There we go. So page 17. Right? What you got? 15, 17, 19?
No, sir. I don't know which one this is. It doesn't have a number on it. I only have 3.
Yeah. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Right? This should start off with but conclude. Let's do that one right there. Come on.
So this is page 17.
Right. And I know it's a little slow, but we're going through the books. Right. And I'm going to say it again, that these are books that you need. Right. This right here validates a lot. So let's read this. Come on.
So it says page 17. But to conclude.
And again, this class was going over who? The hidden legacy of King James. What he looked like, the people in his court, the people around him. So we already got that solidified. Is that black men ruled the world. They were secretaries of states. Right. They were lawyers. They were ambassadors to the Portuguese. Y'all see this? So let's also deal with who? King James. Come on.
But to conclude,
right,
with our king, whom this do concern, he was born a king.
Right.
And from the height, the less fitted to look into the... But to conclude, with our king, whom this do concern, he was born a king. And from that height, the less fitted to look into inferior things.
Go ahead.
Yet few escaped his knowledge, being as it were a magazine to retain them.
Go ahead. So speaking about King James' wisdom, right? His knowledge that he held. He was a wise man. Go ahead.
His stature was of the middle size, rather tall than low.
He was what?
Rather tall than low.
He was rather tall than low. Go ahead.
Well set. And somewhat plump.
So he got a little weight on him. Right? Brother was eating good. All right? Eating good. Go ahead. Eating lawfully. Come on.
And somewhat plump.
Right.
Of a ruddy complexion.
Of a what?
Ruddy complexion.
Here we go. So now it's going into what? His complexion. So it's saying that he was ruddy. Right? And a lot of that definition of ruddy goes into like that red. Right? But that more along goes with what? That dark red, that rich color. And we're going to prove that too. Right? In regards of his ruddiness. Right? Because a lot of people, oh, that's just red. He's just a white boy. Nah. You got to understand now the poetic way that they're now speaking on him. When you do a lot of times even red, it just means that rich skin.
Right.
Right? That you see, like when you see a lot of brothers, man, that's even brown skin, they have a tint of red. They have that freshness coming through their skin. That's why a lot of people now do what? They take all those carrot juices so that now their skin can be more what? More alive and refreshed.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm going to show you. It's not over yet, though. Let's keep reading. Come on.
Con. Sir. It says.
Yes.
Jose asks, where can he find that book James 1?
Oh, you can Google that. What is this on online?
Text.
Oh, Amazon. It's Amazon. You could do Amazon. You could do I bought mine from AB Book out of the UK. ABE Books out of the UK. So, but we're not done with it. Let's finish this. Come on. But yeah, you can look on Amazon for a few areas. But if you really want to get that discount, ABE Books, that's the plug. Wholesale. Let's read. Come on. Yes.
In the Webster 1828, it also says of a bright yellow color as ruddy gold.
Right, but we know that's not it.
That's not it?
No, we know he wasn't gold. I'm going to show you why. That's the point, though. But let's read this. Come on. Because again, they're just describing him, and I'm going to show you. Come on.
Right. His stature was of the middle size, rather tall than low,
right,
well set, and somewhat plump.
Come on.
Of a ruddy complexion,
right.
His hair of a light brown.
Go ahead.
In his full perfection,
come on,
had at last a tincture of white.
Right, so he had a little white, that little salt and pepper within his hair, right? So let's jump over to let's jump to page 19. Because this is going to seal the deal in regards of King James, right? And what he looked like. Mind you, look at his peers 100 years after him. Black men, nobles running the world. Y'all see this?
God.
But let's see about him. Let's see about this bishop. So there's a bishop that was at his funeral. So this is now, I guess when you have the what is it called? The epilogue or the elegy?
Yeah.
How do you say that? No. Whenever you give that last...
Funeral orientation?
Say it again. Yeah, eulogy. There's a bishop giving a eulogy at his funeral. But let's hear what he's talking about. Let's read that. Come on, all highlights.
God. This is page 19.
Come on.
James the First. And King Solomon.
Read.
Bishop Williams' funeral orientation on James.
Come on. And mind you, these are all, real quick, these are all sources. I went to Esau first. These are all Edomite white sources that I went to. So when you deal, well, technically John Mackey, black man, but we know that this is a white book in a sense, right?
Right.
300 years ago, but it's still validated. Y'all see this?
Yeah.
It's a true book. Now we're going to James, one of his contemporaries, right? You can't run away from this. So what is it saying? Go ahead.
Bishop Williams.
Come on.
Funeral orientation on James 16:25.
So this was at his funeral, but this is what he said. Go ahead.
I dare presume to say, you never read in your lives of two kings more fully paralleled amongst themselves.
So he's now equating King Solomon and King James in a parallel. They were just like each other. All right? Read it again. It says what?
You never read in your lives of two kings more paralleled, more fully paralleled amongst themselves, and better distinguished from all other kings.
Right? They were what?
Better distinguished from all other kings.
They were now separated. They were different. Y'all see this? Go ahead.
Besides themselves.
Come on.
King Solomon,
right,
is said to be
Roman. Oh, you can just slide past that one. Yeah, that's Latin.
Con.
Yeah, Vincitus Corma Mare Sua. Right? Keep reading.
Which is the only son of his mother.
There you go. So King Solomon was Bathsheba's only son. Go ahead.
And he goes, Proverbs 4:3. So was King James.
So King James also. Go ahead.
Solomon was of a complexion white and ruddy.
There you go. So Solomon was now of a complexion of what?
White and ruddy.
So we know white and ruddy. When you deal with even white, that just goes into that pureness, right? But that word ruddy is coming back up, right? But they're equating him to be like who? Solomon, right? Read that one more time. Solomon was what?
Complexion. Solomon was of a complexion white and ruddy.
So was Solomon white? No, we know he wasn't white. And we're going to go there, but keep reading.
5 and 10.
Right. They're just going to Lamentations 5, right? Go ahead.
So was King James.
So also King James did what? Look like King Solomon. Are y'all with me on this? So let's go where it is now pulling the precepts on. Let's go to Lamentations 5 and 10. Oh, no, my apologies. Songs of Solomon 5 and 10. Songs of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 10. This is where they're pulling. The bishop is pulling now Solomon's appearance and equating it to that King James looked just like him. Right? So let's go to Songs of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 10. Come on.
Songs of Solomon chapter 5 verse 10.
Right. Is everybody there? Songs of Solomon 5 and verse 10. They're equating King James to not only be as an only child like King Solomon, but also look like King Solomon. Y'all hear this? So let's read. Come on.
Songs of Solomon chapter 5 verse 10.
Go ahead.
My beloved is white and ruddy.
Perfect. Right? White and ruddy. Clear skin. Right? Not transparent. Healthy. Go ahead.
The chiefest among 10,000.
Right, so he's the chiefest. He's now what? He's now the top. He's the number one stunner. Y'all see this? Go ahead.
His head is as the most fine gold.
Right, go ahead.
His locks are bushy.
Read.
And black as a raven.
But let's jump to Songs of Solomon 1 and verse 5. Because we know that what? Yes. Solomon was a black man, but also King James was, but you're just reading descriptive words, right? That's bringing out again, really, man, just the level that these men were at.
Yeah.
Right? White and ruddy is two different things. White just goes into that pureness. Right? So let's read this. Come on.
Songs of Solomon chapter 1, verse 5.
Again, he equates Solomon to being like King James, looking like King James. So how did Solomon look? Let's read it.
I am black.
I am what?
I am black.
I am what?
I am black.
Read.
But comely.
But what?
But comely.
Comely means what? Handsome. Do y'all see this? Because we know that King Solomon was the son of King David. Right? King Solomon was the grandfather, great-great-great-grandfather of who? Christ. And we know Christ was what? What color was Christ?
Black.
Come on, man. So y'all got to see what the bishop is saying. The bishop is saying that King James looked like Solomon. Yeah. Y'all see that? King James looked like Solomon. Read it again, verse 5.
Verse 5.
Come on.
I am black.
I am what?
I am black.
I am black. Read.
But comely.
But what?
But comely.
Come on. That's it on that. Let's jump back to that. Let's jump back to that page 19 of James 1 and his contemporaries. Right? To reiterate how, again, they're equating and making a parallel between King James and King Solomon. You can't run from that. No, right to the point. Solomon was. Yep. That complexion, because that's the seals the deal. Come on.
Solomon was.
Yeah.
Of a complexion.
Read.
White and ruddy.
Come on, man. White and ruddy. Remember, Israel is as a speckled bird. This man was a black man. Go ahead.
So was King James.
So was King James. And we just read that Solomon was what? Black. So what is King James? Black. Do y'all see that? Black all the way around. Go ahead.
Solomon was an infant king.
Right.
Puer parvulos. A little child.
That's it on that. Y'all see that, right? Let's get some more information, right? To keep edifying the point, and we're almost out of time, right? But I want to jump to this book. Yes.
I was going to say, I found out that ruddy goes into glowing.
Right. There you go.
The complexion. There
you go. Right. Again, I'm going to say it. You got black men that have that red tint, right? Or that I'm going to say it, that healthy skin. Brothers is glowing. Y'all see that? Listen, let a brother fast for a little bit. Give him a week. Juice. Come on, man. Looking different. You see that? So let's go. We're going to go to another book. It's called The Negro Rulers of Scotland and the British Isles. Right? We're going to go to the Negro Rulers of Scotland and the British Isles. And I want to bring out a few points, right? We can start at, let's get right to the point. Let's start at 130. 130. Page 130. And we're going to start in the middle. It's a good book. Because there's a few other things I want to show before we get up out of here. Because we're going to do a part 2 to this where we're going to go on more in depth, right? We can get right into it. So we're going to start right here. The same. Let's get into that. So let's get into this. Come on. Any questions so far? Any questions? All right. So again, there's more supporting evidence. Yeah, a lot of people will say it really don't say nothing right there. Okay, well, let's see about his family then. Right? Let's see about him as a person. Right? Let's keep reading. Come on. What do the scholars, what do the sources state about King James? So let's read this.
This is page 130.
Right. Dr. John L. Johnson. Go ahead.
This same mongrel people from Africa and Eastern nations.
Right. So he's speaking about Israel whenever we were now scattered. We were in Africa. We came out of Egypt. So he's speaking about, I'm kind of jumping a little bit in his statement, but he's speaking about now the travelings of Israelites. All right. The chapter is called Negro Israelites. So let's keep reading.
Right. Migrated to Scotland.
They did what?
Migrated to Scotland.
There we go. It says that we migrated to Scotland. And I can pull other books that show forth we were also in the land of Scotland. All right. Go ahead.
The British Isles and the rest of Europe.
Look at that. So it says that we were in the British Isles and the rest of Europe. Do y'all hear that? Bearing witness of what? Our migration in the world. Go ahead.
Under the single name.
Under the single name of what?
More.
Y'all see that? Because more was just what? Israelite. When you hear more, add it with Israelite. Go ahead.
Meaning. Black or Negro.
Go ahead.
2 of Noah's 3 sons. Ham and Shem.
Right.
Had for centuries mingled their seed.
Just jump down. We're gonna jump down. You there yet? Or no, we're going.
I don't think I have that. I don't know. It doesn't show the pages on me, so I don't know where you're reading from.
This is, let me see. Thought I sent this to you. James Martin Brits. 130. Oh, I got 5. Okay. What you can do, jump to no, it's, oh, you know what? No, it's there. I sent it to you. I sent it to you. It's on Negro rulers.
Oh. I'm not sure which one it is.
The first one. The first one. Let's read this. Come on.
Okay. So I'm jumping.
Yeah, you're gonna jump down to where it says right there, the Moorish.
Okay. So we're still at page 130.
Come on.
Right. So the Moorish Negro stewards of Scotland.
Right. Here we go. The Moorish Negro stewards. Right. Which is speaking about King James and his people. Go ahead.
Stewards of Scotland.
Come on. I want y'all to hear this. I wish it was up there because this is cold. Go ahead.
And England.
Come on.
Who are the descendants of Kenneth the Niger.
Right. So it's speaking about this man, Kenneth the Niger. Right. That goes all the way back to the Vikings. Right. Family lineage is long. Go ahead.
Claim their...
Or Kenneth the Black. Go ahead.
Descendants of Kenneth the Niger.
Come on.
Claim their lineage.
Claim their what?
Lineage.
Claim their lineage, their family. Go ahead.
To go all the way back.
Come on.
To the tribe of Judah.
Hold on. They claim their lineage to go back where?
To the tribe of Judah.
Right. There you go. Right? Yes.
Is that the one they call Black Boy and they got a pub in the...
Not there. We're getting that. No. This is before that. This is way before. That was George. That was King George. Yeah, that was King George II. Or was it William? Brain is having a fart. But no, that's after this. But do y'all hear this though? That King James family, the Stuart Kings, traced their lineage back to who?
Kenneth the Niger.
Right.
Claimed their lineage to go all the way back.
Come on.
To the tribe of Judah.
Read.
A tribe that was created.
Come on, that's cool. Go ahead.
Right. By the hybrid Judah and his two Negro Canaanite wives.
Right. So we know a lot of that is not all true. But we see what? We see is that the lineage of these kings in Scotland and England derive back to where? Tribe of Judah. Y'all see that? The tribe of Judah. We could do a lot more, right? That's it on that. What we'll do, we'll go to one more book, right? Or actually, no, it's not a book. We're going to go to an image. And we're going to go exactly who you're talking about. It's actually King Charles II, right? So real quick, give me Isaiah. Real quick. Give me Isaiah. Or no, my apologies. Jeremiah 16:19. Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 19. And again, we got a lot more images, a lot more books to add to the fuel. You even go to the ancient and modern Brits, right, which shows the original Britons and what they look like. We got a few more, yeah.
So they lied. They say that Kenneth the Niger was a Scottish ruler over black divisions in the 10th century.
Okay.
And they say that he wasn't actually black. That's what the white man said, trying to say.
There you go. But that's the thing about it. You're over black divisions, right? But you ain't black though. It don't even make no sense. But that's the point. That's the academic fraud, right? And then falsely misrepresenting historical sources, right? So that's why, when hearing this, a lot of people are going to be like, "Dang, what was I taught?" Right? So let's read this. Jeremiah 16 and verse 19. Come on.
Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 19.
And then we're going to go to the image of King Charles II. Go ahead.
O Lord, my strength, and my fortress.
Read.
And my refuge in the day of affliction.
Come on.
The Gentiles shall come unto thee.
Read.
From the ends of the earth.
Right, and this is going to happen. The Gentiles are now going to come to who? to him that's a Jew. Right? Israel. Go ahead.
And shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies.
And that's what they have inherited. Because as we've been going over, we see them but black nobility. We see representation of King James looking just like Black Solomon. We see now the ambassadors, the secretaries of state that are very black in complexion. Y'all see that? We haven't even gone to the Harvard geologist yet. I didn't even go into Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin bared witness of black people in the world and what nation they were from. Y'all see this? So we'll continue to do a part 2 with this. But we're seeing is that the world will bear witness, right? Your friends, your mama, those that believe in lies will bear witness that what? They've inherited lies. Esau is going down, man. Right? They weren't that great nation or that great people that they thought that they were. Go ahead.
Shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies.
Yeah, surely our fathers have inherited lies. Go ahead.
Entities and things
Go ahead.
Wherein there is no profit.
A lot of identity theft, right? Vanity and things where there is no profit. Because we're going to end it with this, right? Archaeological. An archaeological image of King Charles II, right? King Charles II. This is King James' great-great-grandson. All right? And they still have a statue of this man. They have a full-blown representation statue of him. What that look like, man? What does that look like?
Is that the one who was popping bottles on the yacht?
He was popping bottles. This man was known and invented riding in yachts and popping champagne. They called this man the black boy, right? But this is King James' great-grandson. Tell me what that looked like. Who got hair like that? Who got jawline structure like that? That is a black man. Do y'all see this? That's King James' great-great-grandson. That's not a grandson. That's not a lineage of a white man. That's a strong black man right there. Do y'all see that? But it correlates exactly when you go to a lot of these books like the Negro Rulers and what they look like. Esau tried to mimic us with that long wig that he was trying to wear. Because black folks can grow their hair. Negroes, Israelites can grow their hair. Hamites can't. Why do you think Ham be so bald-headed? You don't see women out there with long hair, and you don't see Ham with froze and braids. They don't grow hair like we do. We're different. Y'all see that? This is King James' great-grandson. Let's go to the Negro rulers in regards to King Charles II. Right? You got that, right? Let's go to the Negro rulers. I'm going to just bring up 2 more articles, right? To bear witness of what? To bear witness that the Stuarts, the noblemen in England, in Britain, in Scotland, in Spain, in Ireland, they were all black. Y'all see that? They were all black. So this is going to be page 8 in the Negro rulers of Scotland and the British Isles. All right. We there? I'm just going to read it. It'll pop up.
It doesn't show me the page, so I have to.
Okay. This one's going to be, it's going to start with I got some writing on it. Right? And I want you to load that black boy in. I want you to load that too.
What does it say from?
This one says, did I even put this up there? This says Scotland and England and was succeeded by his son Charles I. There we go. Stewart. It says James Stewart. The 6th and the 1st.
Huh.
All right, cool. So let's read this. So it says James Stewart, right? The 6th of Scotland and Ireland and the 1st of England, the cousin of Elizabeth, became king of Scotland and England and was succeeded by his son Charles I, who fathered Charles II. So that's his grandson, right? A tall, curled, it says, in a tall, curled mouth. Y'all can see that up there. All right. It says black-skinned and curly-haired man. Ain't that what we just saw in the statue?
Nah.
Curly-haired man, right? We the ones that can have the long curly hair. This is where bundles came from, man. We had it, when the food was good and the water was right. What you got?
The Black Boy Pub. We say exactly why they called it.
We going. I got you. Because I want you to see it though.
Oh, okay.
I want you to even see it through the sources that they have that we overlook or we don't even think about. All right. So this is talking about King James' grandson. It says a tall, curled mouth, black skin, and curly-haired man known in England as the Black Boy. See, now this is what Esau tries to do. They try to say that they equated his nickname because he wore black armor. Negro, please. Edomite, please. Black armor now, and now he's known as the Black Boy. He had this name since birth. It says the Black Boy, Charles II, great-grandmother, was Mary, Queen of Scots, who was a dark olive-skinned woman. It says Charles' appearance was the opposite of an Englishman. Mm. His black-skinned French mother, Henrietta, right? Maria called him the Black Boy. Y'all see that? Called him the Black Boy. Let me read down real quick in these notes. It says the Stuarts were a dark-skinned Negro, Pictish, Scottish black people, whom the name of Stuart or Stuart was taken from the Old Norse word swarv or swart, meaning black. The Stuarts, it says, anglicized the name James. So again, just showing what? Showing nobility in these ancient days, even from their names. Y'all see that?
God.
But one thing that was known from this man, King Charles II, is that they named many pubs across England the Black Boy Pub. So we're going to go to a source now, which is what? We're going to actually Wikipedia on this one because they didn't lie, right? So you can actually type this in on your phone on Wikipedia, the Black Boy Inn. Look up the Black Boy Inn. All right. So we're going to go to this link, the Black Boy Inn on Wikipedia. All right. And you can find this in England still to today. All right. Still to today. So we're going to go to this article. All right. When you read down, it says, what is believed to come? Actually, let's read up. Right. It says the inn's name has caused controversy. And there are at least 3 theories to explain its name. One is believed to come from a black boy, which existed in the harbor in the earlier days of the inn. So they're trying to say that they named this after a so-called homeless kid in the harbor or a young black man in the harbor. That's where they're equating where this name came from. You got that pulled up? All right. It says again, another refers to the nickname given to Charles II by his mother, Henrietta Marie of France. And we just read that here, right? Because of the darkness of his skin and eyes. You see how they spread a little truth with a lot of lies? About his skin and eyes, as well as the fact that the royalists met at the inn secretly at that time, right? Later, the place became the local fisherman's favorite drinking place, and the name of the Black Boy may come from this period. But we know that it was what? It was because King Charles was a black man. And this is why the pub was named after him. Y'all see that? But more importantly, you just seen the statue. That's archaeology, y'all. What they try to do, they try to knock off the nose, right? They try to now knock off the nose so that you don't fully see the facial structure of this man. The water for getting that up there. So y'all see that. This is an article, right? That gives the understanding that his grandmother, right, gave him that name, or actually by his mother, Henrietta Maria France. All right. So, I'm going to say this. This topic is going to have more episodes because there's more to bring out, right? There's more solidifying information to continue to show that, like Kendrick Lamar said, don't call me black no more. We got deeper roots than that, right? Our line comes from nobility, and it can be proven even much more. So we've seen that even Kenneth the Niger, right, who King James derives from, he stated that what? His lineage goes back to the tribe of Judah. And we didn't even deal with the crest. We didn't deal with the heraldarchy, right, of the lion, the unicorn, all these different things that symbolize the nation of Israel. Y'all see that? There's much more to see. But we got another day. Any questions? Yeah.
So I was looking up about where that statue is.
Yeah.
And was that cathedral was that like Roman occupation?
I didn't look at the specifics of,
because they say that statue is located at it's located at the Litchfield Cathedral in the United Kingdom.
Right.
In England.
Yeah, a lot of times, but they can move. I believe they moved it though too. They moved that a few times. Yeah, it was moved a few times. So, hey, I don't know who occupied it, but we see it was a Negro. You know what I'm saying? That was a Negro. Black boy in. So, any other questions? Right? So again, we see that what? King James looked like King Solomon. Y'all see that? So we'll definitely part 2 this next class and go into a lot of the blasphemy that was spoken upon his name, who it came by, and dive in a little bit more to familiarize ourselves with the individuals of that time, right? To really understand what was going on. So let's really ride through these episodes like a Netflix series.
Yes, sir.
All right. So listen, brothers and sisters online, Thawada, for tuning in. All right. And we are going to, Lord willing, be back next Thursday. Tomorrow, VA is live. Real quick, please, if you're coming to the Passover, if you say you fellowship with our school, help out with the Passover. Help out with the Passover. We ask $250. Listen, for things for the venue, the lamb is needed. Ain't nothing free in this world, y'all. So if you can help, that would greatly appreciate it. You'll see the donation up top, ISBHPK donations. Hit my line if you need more information for other ways. But with that, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.